Believe Nation, happy Friday. Friday is my CEO day. Man, what a day. I'm pumped. Today is such a great day. But we're taking a pause from the day to answer your questions. So let me pop this in here below. Ask us your questions. Use the question box. Ask some questions away. I'm excited. Let me pin that. Pin comment. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you got questions, I see Trenton Jones in the house. Estavao, did I say that right? Cindy Jean, welcome aboard. Suki, oh, we got some hardcore people joining in. I love it. Greg, David, Nivesh, Nikita, welcome, welcome. Jeremy, Russ, I love it. I'm looking for my friend Mark. We're gonna do a Q&A for 25 minutes, answering your questions, trying to bring as much value as possible. Where's Mark? I don't see him. This is a bonus episode. You okay? You okay? No, Nina came in. Bonus episode of the Something to Prove podcast. There he is, Mark Drager. A little bit late, but we got it. It's okay. He's coming. He's coming. Get your questions ready for us. Mr. Mark Drager in blue. Listen, that blue and that yellow is a good combination.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Does it look good?
Well, on the yellow.
Let's get some more. Let's get some more yellow in this world.
The blue, yellow Nike ad. Did you just go running or something? What are you doing there?
I did a workout at noon. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
People are laughing. They like it. All right. Good.
Good thing that you can't smell anything on Instagram.
Oh yes. Thank you. Thank you, Mark, for that. We appreciate you not smelling up our Instagram feed. Not yet. Not until the phones have that capability.
The smell-o-vision that they always talked about, right?
Smell-o-vision, yeah.
There you go.
Greg saying, "Hey, Mark." All right, so Mark, this is the bonus something to prove episode.
This is the bonus something to prove episode,
isn't it?
No, I don't know. You felt like you left a few adjectives out there or whatever. Yes, this is the bonus episode of the Something to Prove podcast.
Oh my God, Jesus, Mark. Okay, ask us questions. We do a 1 hour jam session, just me and Mark, where I usually end up yelling a lot at Mark.
Yeah, like if you want to hear Evan be Evan, my goodness, you got to listen to Something to Prove podcast, because we know each other so well that he is willing to kick the stuffing out of me, let's say.
Anyway, go check it out. Stitcher, iTunes, whatever. Okay, questions. Let's go. This is the bonus episode. Okay, what do we got? We got Guru in the house saying how to figure out
career after high school. Yeah. So when I was in grade 7, I remember my teacher coming up to me and saying, "What are you going to be when you grow up? You have to start picking this now, because your junior high dictates your high school, and your high school dictates your university and college."
That teacher hates their life, for sure.
It dictates your whole life. And I thought I had to pick something. Listen, man, girl, woman, man, husband, whatever you are after high school, you don't have to pick.
It's a guy.
Okay, listen, man, you don't have to pick your career yet. You're just finishing high school. You haven't tried things. You haven't failed. You haven't taken risks yet. You know, I got married really young. I thought I was old.
He was married in high school, almost.
No, almost. I was dating my wife in high school, and then we got married at, I think I was 21 or 22. But the point is, I felt old. You're gonna feel like you've done so much, and yet you have so much time ahead of you. So if you want to pick your career, pick something. But then be open to changing. Pick something and go any direction. But know that if you try after a year or two and you change your mind, you change your schooling, you change your major, you try this career and then that career. It used to be called like late blooming. You know, like, oh, you're 23 and you don't know what you're doing with your life and you're not married and everything. It's like, no, dude, that's not how life works.
You need to turn your Friday afternoons into your video day after this. Mark's on some kind of special tear right now, which needs to.
I recorded videos this morning. So
what are you doing after this? What are you doing after this?
I'm probably gonna go for a walk with my wife.
Oh my God!
I can record some more videos.
She's not gonna be able to handle you. She's gonna be like, "What's this? Why are you yelling at me, Mark?
It's manic, Mark.
Why are you speed walking so much?" No, Friday afternoon needs to be your video. You got to take the energy from the direct feedback,
and just carry it into my videos. Anyway, what do you think?
That's what I think. That's what I think you should do.
Great, thank you,
Guru. Yeah, it's exploring. I mean, in high school, after high school, I thought I wanted to be an investment banker, and that's what I started studying for and going for. And then in university, I became an entrepreneur, and that was the hardest choice of my life was moving away from investment banking to take a shot on being an entrepreneur. It ended up being the best decision I ever made, but I was super scared to do it. And I was scared because I had my mindset on I'm going to be an investment banker. And that's what my identity was wrapped up into without really even knowing what it was. I mean, I'd never done it. How do you know you're going to be that thing when you haven't even experienced it before, right? So it's saying yes to things, it's trying things, it's following your heart, even if it doesn't make sense, to at least test it, to taste it, to try it, until you find something that you actually really love doing. In high school, I thought I was going to be in economics. I thought economics was the answer to everything. Economics is just the answer. I mean, you can figure it. You feel like I'm a visual guy, so I learned economics through the graphs, supply and demand curves. And if interest rate goes up, this happens to the curve. Like, oh my God, this explains everything.
The secret to life is economics.
This is great. And then I realized in university that economics is actually not very practical unless you're going to be an economist. But for like entrepreneurship, economic, you don't care about economics. It doesn't matter. And
you have too much heart for economics anyway, because economics tends to break down actually to these like perfect systems and perfect worlds, and doesn't allow for the amount of heart that you carry into your life.
The amount of heart?
Yeah. You care about people way more than economists do.
Oh.
Economists work in figures and in numbers, and they're like, that's weird. People did things that went against their own benefit. Why would any like?
Very logical. Yeah. It defaults to assuming logical behavior. Yeah, which that doesn't make sense. But the visual, I love visual. It's like the first time that I think this is why I got attracted to it. It was business and visuals. Like, this is fantastic.
You know what's so funny? You're talking about identities. I really wanted to become an engineer, a civil engineer, and then an architect. And to the point where when I was a kid, I used to walk around with like books of chart paper, and I would draw like residential plans for the types of houses we could have and live and all of this stuff. And it's like, I was so wanted to become an engineer and an architect. And then in my, like right before the deadline of applying for university, I literally went, I'm going to go to film school instead. And I freaked everyone in my family out, and I went to film school instead. And then from film school, I went, anyway, the point is that architecture and engineering has nothing to do with film. And then now I spend all my time in marketing anyway, which is maybe like this weird combination of an engineering mind with the film school type of artistry or what have you. But
we're moving on. Okay.
You got to figure stuff out.
Lola
Come on, that was a good story, man.
That took too long. That took too long. The Lola style says, please save this live for later. We always save it for later. If you look at my IGTV, it's always there. But you can also go subscribe to the Something to Prove podcast, and you get all the previous episodes as well as our regular weekly, what do you call it? Dish up.
Come on, this is taking too long. Let's go.
I'm looking for the next question. Okay. Nadia saying, what to do if you live in an underdeveloped country and you want to work, but you can't, like you have a lot to give, but I got cut off.
See, this is really tough because like Evan, you and I, we both live in Canada. I can be empathetic to your situation, but I haven't been in your situation. So the first thing that I would do is I would look for people who have come from a similar background to you. So similar family, similar economic class, similar, do you live out in the country? Are you in the inner city? What kind of culture do you have? What kind of country? And I would look for the person who has done what you want to do. And I would look at them and I would say, what have they done?
Which is lots of people.
Yes.
Lots of people. Lots of people have done it. Lots of people. Keep going.
Okay. I would look at what they did. And are there similarities between how they think and how you want to think, and between their skill sets and what it is you're going to develop, like who you're going to turn into. So that way you can go ahead and give that, like you feel like you have a lot to give and you just want to give it to people. Where are these people? Like, so model yourself. Evan's first YouTube channel was called Modeling the Masters.
It still is.
Officially, it got changed to Evan Carmichael, I thought.
No, it still is. But no, I have a vanity URL that I have two URLs. You can look at Modeling the Masters or Evan Carmichael, at least to the same spot.
Okay, so the first video, Evan's first YouTube channel video, we made it together, and it was called Modeling the Masters, because you're all about this, Evan. It's like, hey, I don't need to figure out, I don't need to invent how to live, how to come from an undeveloped country and start a business, or to give all of this stuff out. I don't need to invent this. I'm not the first person who's done this. I'm going to look at what other people did. I'm going to model their success. I'm going to do it. I'm going to learn. I'm going to try. I'm going to fail. I'm going to get better. That's my recommendation to you.
Nadia, lots of people have done it. Mark's advice is correct. 1,000% correct.
I win.
He's basically taking what I would say. He knows, he's seen enough, so it's really my advice. But
Wow.
listen, stop telling yourself that you can't. What if but you can't? That's the problem. And there's a million reasons why you won't win and 8 why you will. And if you talk to all your friends and your family, they'll tell you can't too. This is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the reasons why you can't are legit reasons. You're not going to believe a stupid reason. They're all really smart reasons. And we could brainstorm here and find another million reasons why you're not going to win. Awesome. And they're all legit smart reasons. But there are 8 reasons why you can win, which is an abundance of reasons. And then you have an abundance of reasons in 8. Focus on the 8. Stop telling yourself that you can't. If other people have made it out and gone on and build their ideal business, you can too. The mindset shift is what needs to happen before you worry about the how.
Believe.
Like that, Mike? Believe. Believe. Let's
Believe.
go, Nadia. Come on. Okay, Greg. Lazy or strict keto? Are you still
That's
keto,
an
Mark?
interesting question. I am, but I lazy or strict keto. I would say I've fallen into the lazy category. I just weighed myself yesterday, I guess, for the first time, and I'm like, ooh, I'm up 8 pounds since COVID started. So time to kick it, time to get really aggressive again. Anyway, I don't know if you can do lazy keto. So like,
What's lazy? Is lazy keto dirty keto?
Let's say it is.
It's the same thing. That just means like you're keto, but you're eating unhealthy keto.
Or I think
Like
it's
you're not
more like
eating
your
veggies.
keto. I think it's more like your keto.
Uh-huh.
But you're not worrying about trying to hit the 20 to 50 grams per carbs. You're not trying to keep your protein at under a certain levels because your body turns protein into carbohydrates that will actually take you out of ketosis.
Oh, is that lazy keto? Okay.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Like I haven't had a cheat day since a year ago May, although I did have a bag of popcorn at Christmas.
Wow.
And everybody looks at me and goes, Mark, you haven't had a cheat day in a year and 3 months other than a bag of popcorn? I go, yeah. And they go, wow, you're a hero. But
people with low standards.
But here's the secret.
Keep going.
There are a lot of days where I still take myself out of ketosis. There are days where I take myself out of ketosis, like because I just eat too much salad or because I don't watch the amount of protein I eat, and I eat too much protein and it pulls me out of ketosis. And so even though I'm eating keto, it would probably be considered lazy keto. Everything I eat is within the keto diet. Everything, every day. But there are these periods of 2, 3, 4 weeks where I'm not really like in ketosis, even though I'm eating that way because I'm eating too much. So I would say if you want to maintain and you're comfortable with it, lazy keto all the way. But it's not ketosis. You're not getting into ketosis. Your body's not getting into there. You're not seeing all of the energy levels. You're not seeing the cognitive increases. You're not losing weight. You're not feeling great. You have to stay in ketosis if you want the benefits of it. But that's my advice.
Okay, so you had me for a little bit until the end. So
No, you're super strict and clean 6 days a week, right?
Kind of. I don't measure the exact numbers. I don't pee on the strip every day or blood test.
That stops working after 3 or 4 months anyway of ketosis. But
okay, well, whatever. I'm not doing that every day. So the exact percentages we're not following. Super strict though in terms of, yeah, we're eating everything that is under keto 6 days a week. Nina's 7, I'm 6. Saturday I'll eat whatever, and I also fast until 5 o'clock every day. Almost 100%, right? Like there's a little bit of cream in this coffee, right? But apart from that, it's fasting. Even on a Saturday, it's fasting.
I fast till
on my
6.
cheat days, fast till 5 o'clock every day.
I won't eat till 6 p.m.
I have found zero mental benefits, zero energy increase, zero extra clarity from doing keto.
Well, maybe because you were already so clean before, you don't remember what it's like to eat like total garbage. Like eat total garbage for 6 months, and see how lethargic you feel, how terrible you feel, and then go to ketosis, you're going to be like, this is amazing.
I think much more than, and I'm biohacking and I'm diet hacking like till the cows come home.
Try sitting all day. And you stand. I stand all day. Yesterday I was standing for 14 hours. Standing gives you tons of energy and cognitive ability as well versus sitting all day. It does. You just, I think it's been so long since you've been as garbagey as I used to be that you don't even remember what it's like.
Nah. Guys, more important than anything, more important than any of that. No, like more important than any of that is deep passion and love for the work that you're doing, full stop, period. Everything else is just a nice add-on.
But dude, I use these things as reminders of how awesome I am to combat the other things that happen in my life that tear me down. So standing all day, I'm proud of the fact that yesterday I started working at like whatever 6:30, and you and I had a meeting late at night, and it was like 8:30 at night. From 6:30 in the morning to 8:30 at night, I was standing all day. That makes me proud.
I love doing difficult things.
Yeah,
I agree.
We do hard things.
Sure, but that's the mental benefit of it, from showing yourself that you do hard things, as opposed to saying, because I stood up. I love standing up. I'm on a trampoline. I'm hacking every day. I love it. But it's nowhere near as important.
So let me ask you this. After you break your fast, so I eat at 6 o'clock, you eat at 5 or whatever, 20 minutes later, you've just broken your fast.
Okay.
Do you not, like, as your body's processing the food and it's redirecting blood and energy towards digestion, do you not feel a little bit more tired than you did before?
I'm telling you, it depends what I'm working on. If I'm all set, ready to come and do the Something to Prove podcast with my good friend, Mark Jigger.
Mark.Jigger, Instagram?
Heck no. No. Like, It's tiny percent. It's a tiny percent.
Okay.
It's a tiny percent.
I can tell you that after I eat, I'm just like it's just like from the day, from not eating and everything else. And so so I spoke.
What do you love most? No, hold on. Okay, you love speaking at an event.
So I spoke at an event on Wednesday, and I did not eat until after the event. So I didn't eat until 8:30 or 9 o'clock, because I was just like, if I eat before speaking, I'm going to be like yawning and cold, and I'm not going to feel the circulation and stuff.
Do it. No. Do it. That's a mental game. That's a mental game, dude. That is all mental. You're going to get up on stage and crush it. I want you to go and eat like the biggest Big Mac Doritos sandwich. Get on stage and crush it. Good. You'll crush it. No, that's what people. This is the exact thing that I want to combat against. I'm a buyer for your long-term health. Why do I do it? Is because I believe that it's good for my long-term health.
Yes.
But
I also
you'll go on stage and crush it. You'll go on stage and crush it.
Keto versions of stuff. Like, I know you guys are into that stuff, but like keto pizza, keto desserts, keto. You had keto lasagna last night for dinner. Like, I don't do any of that stuff because it's too close to the real thing for me. That it's like, no, like. So I eat vegetables and meat. Vegetables and meat.
You could eat a giant meal before coming on this Instagram Live,
and I would be sleepy.
No.
Do you remember how sleepy I was last Friday? You don't remember.
Do it next week. Bring it. Remember. Let's see what happens next week.
Well, we'll have to do it at 6 o'clock because I don't eat before 6 o'clock.
Well, one day you can break it to prove a story.
We'll see. Sometimes
it's all mental.
Saturdays,
like it's 95% mental. It's not. If you tell yourself you're going to be tired, guess what? You're going to be tired. If you're going to be doing work that you hate, guess what? Eating the most clean diet's not going to save you.
So what we're saying, to answer your question, is strict keto.
I'm a big believer, man. Like the mental state and doing work that you love.
What you're talking about right now was the topic I wanted to talk to you about yesterday. And so, guys, check out a full 1 hour conversation about this topic next week. Because
we're talking about it next week?
Because we're going to do it next week. Yeah, you hijacked yesterday's topic.
Yeah, that was a good episode. I'm a big believer, man. I'm a big buyer into this. Like, healing comes from doing work. Yeah, it's a mental game. And I'm all in on the other stuff. But there's lots of people who eat clean, who work out and do yoga every day, and then still die of cancer at 40 because they're just stressed out to the max and hate their life. People underestimate the value of a healthy mindset to living a healthy life, and they're blaming their diet and their lack of exercise on it. Yeah. Anyway, let's see.
It's a tangled web.
Suki says I agree, so that's all the validation I need.
No, I was agreeing with me. It was a delay.
No, it's not. It's definitely agree with me. Okay. Prairie Dodger says I agree. Okay. Quentin says
IG Live
true.
with Angela. Say Mark is right. Please, come on. Be on team Mark. Say Mark is right.
Mark is definitely not right. Okay. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Okay. All right. Let's get a good one here. Okay. The all-time champ. How to get over the rejection you get from a girl. I can't focus. Oh, wait, hold on. Suki says, LOL, agree with Evan. Sorry, triple exclamation mark. Never be sorry
For
for
agreeing with
being
Evan.
yourself. Never be sorry
Never be
for
sorry
being yourself.
for agreeing with Evan.
Suki, never be sorry. No, for expressing yourself and being yourself, never be sorry. Okay? Great. We love Suki. Okay. The all-time champ. How to get over the rejection you get from a girl. I can't focus on my work.
Yeah. It's tough. Because anytime that you get rejected by anyone, you're going to feel vulnerable because you put yourself out there. And so I think what most people do is they get skittish, or they think they did something wrong. And you may have, but I don't know how helpful that is, right? You know, so you tried, and so it didn't work out. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. Like you just have to be aware of it. You try some things and they don't go the way that you want them to go. And so what I would do for myself is I would say, okay, what's next? If you're not feeling great about yourself coming out of this, you can't focus on your work, you're not feeling great, I think you need to change, Tony Robbins would say change your state, but I think you just need to do something physical that will make you feel better about yourself. So go for a run, stand up and dance, put on some music, do some jumping jacks, do whatever you need to do, because over time, it will become a little bit easier. Over time, you'll start to be able to look at it with less pain and a little bit more clarity as to maybe what happened or this or that. But anytime that you feel rejection, the first thing you're going to do is think that you messed up, you weren't good enough, you did something wrong. And usually none of that stuff is really true. Usually it's on them, or it just didn't click, or it just didn't work out, or you guys were going different directions, or you thought it would be good, but then it wouldn't. And as entrepreneurs, we face this with our teams, right? Oh, someone that I love on my team is quitting. Was I not a good boss? Did I not do a good job? Are we not running the company properly? Is it like it can spiral out of control. And so often I think lives aren't actually lived parallel. I think they're actually on angles, on axes. And there are certain times where you cross and everything lines up and it all works out. And then there are times where you end up going off a different direction. And so my advice would just be to put on some music, go for a run, go for a walk, do some jumping jacks, get physical.
Yeah, I just question, how long has this been going on, right? Like if this just happened, then I would be gentle on myself and not expect me to just get over it in a second, right? Like I've had 3 basically long-term relationships in my life, right? 5 years, and then Nina, which is like 8 years or something crazy now. And so when going through a breakup there, the first 2 were hard, right? I remember the first one, I was up all night. I took the car out and I couldn't sleep. I took the car out. I drove around, like not even knowing, like, where am I going? I don't know. Just driving around. Drove down the DVP, which is this kind of highway in Toronto, totally empty at 4 a.m. or whatever. Kind of tried to focus my energy on my work, tried to do something to feel productive instead of just sitting at home feeling sorry for myself. There's a healing process that does come with time. Now if it's 2 years later and you're still like feeling like a loser, then that's a problem and we need to fix that. I think ultimately it's getting self-love back by doing difficult things and by serving. Like if you woke up and you felt like what you're going to do today is going to matter to somebody, that's how you start to heal. Back to our last section. It's not eating clean keto that's going to save you. It's feeling like you're connected to people and that the work you do matters. Ultimately, I think that's going to be your path out. But if it's still raw and new and recent, then it's okay. Like, don't expect to be perfect the next day. I remember when I broke up the second time, it was more serious because I'm getting divorced. I have a son.
Yeah.
And so that was hard. I had to take sleeping pills because I couldn't sleep. And I remember I messaged everybody, all my clients, all of my team to let them know what happened and that I'm probably going to drop some balls. Like I'm not super focused right now. This is a big life-changing decision. I'm not sleeping well, and I don't have the mental clarity that I normally do. So I'm probably going to drop a few balls, and I apologize in advance if that happens. But here's why, right? And so I don't think if I just started dancing the next day is actually even the right thing to do, right? So it took some time to heal, and the path through became back to more self-love, back to more difficult things, back to more trying to help and serve and feel like I'm valuable and feel connected to people again, to the point where I could, get over it. So I think it just depends on where you are right now in that cycle.
The reason I said that is well, let me ask you, I know we're bumping up against the clock, but I know that a lot of people kind of exercise their way through the pain, right? You have anxiety and are having a panic attack or whatever, you go for a run. You are trying to avoid drinking too much, you go for a run. You're trying to work through feeling rejected, you go for a run. I don't know if it's that. I mean, as far as diversions go, it seems like a healthy thing to do in my mind. But
it's a great quick fix. But it's like happiness. When somebody asked me yesterday, what is happiness? Well, I split it into just the immediate excitement of something that you can get a quick high off of versus deep fulfillment and happiness. The long-term sustained happiness is going to come from feeling like the work you do matters, that you're valuable, that you're making something that is serving people. That's sustained happiness. You can go for a run every morning and get that high or put on music and all that. And I believe in that and I do it, right? I had music on just before doing this. It's great. But it doesn't cover for actually feeling like you matter. Yeah, like that you matter, your work matters, you're important to other people. You can have an impact on people's lives, that somebody will love you, right? Like that comes from actually getting out there and being around people and trying to help. So it's both. It's not just one or the other. I think it's both. Just if it's super raw, fresh, early, then it's okay. Like expect to drop some balls. Don't be hard on yourself for not recovering the next day. But if you're 2 years into it, okay, like now we need to be moving on, moving forward, having some better direction in our lives here, right?
Well, the all-time champ, we are in your corner. You're super, super active. You ask questions all the time for like a really long time on the Something to Prove podcast even. Like you might be OG. So we're rooting for you, man. I hope you feel better.
All right. Well, people saying, wow, that was beautiful. Thank you, Suki. Thank you for sharing that. You're welcome, Angela. Appreciate the love. All right, Mark, people want to listen to Something to Prove podcast. Where are they going?
Google Something to Prove podcast or go to Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, all of those places. You can listen to Evan yell at me as often as you want.
And Mark is launching a new. Has it come out? Your new podcast?
Can we tease that? No, but
okay,
I'm working with one of Evan's secret weapons to get this new podcast launched.
New show
we
coming
do hard
up.
Things.
Okay,
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, so you already said the name.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, that's okay. We can drop. We can have the secret drop here.
Okay, the We Do Hard Things podcast with Mark Drager and not Evan Carmichael. That you get to hear him.
That's okay.
Have great conversations.
I'll have to interview Evan and ask him questions that no one has ever asked him before.
Ooh. Mark's a great interview. Yeah, Mark's a great interviewer. He is a great interviewer when he actually cares about the person, and he's only bringing on people who. Well, that's a challenge. If you don't care about the person, you'll start just taking over the show and not actually ask questions. And that's it. That's a wrap. Much love, everybody. Continue to believe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you soon.